ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Attacking Third. I am your host, Austin Hamill. Joining me, as always, on my left, your right, is my man Gus. What's going on, buddy?
It could be better. Could
Could
be better.
always be. As a Manchester United fan, I am feeling better today.
I don't know
Gotta.
why.
I mean, do I still hurt?
I mean,
Obviously.
yeah,
there's,
that's
there's,
that's a tough loss against
dude,
Liverpool. Like
we had a couple we had the Union had a couple of matches last year where like we had those big like 6-0, 8-0 wins. But there's something about 7 that just feels bad. Like it feels
oh,
worse than 8 and worse than 6 for some reason.
you should just pack your bags and just play your C team at this point. Pack it up.
Look, dude, do you even voot Veghorst though?
What?
Do you even voot Veghorst though?
No, that's the thing. They're not going to.
But yeah, so there were 2 matches this week for Philly U. The first one we'll dive into. I'm shifting my chair here. Excuse me. Uh, is the 2-0 win, 2-0 loss to Inter Miami, and honestly, it there was a lot of just a lot just looked wrong with the team in that loss.
Hmm.
But you also have to bear in mind that the 2 goals they scored were from outside of the box, and that
Listen,
hasn't happened to Blake in a long time.
those strikes, it, there's nothing you can do. They were beautiful, and I can say it like as much as they hurt, they were beautiful, man.
They were
Golazos
amazing.
from outside the box, they were placed correctly. There's nothing that Blake could have done. There's nothing that any no keeper in the MLS can stop that.
No, not a chance.
Maybe Courtois is the
Maybe.
only goalie that can maybe stop
Maybe.
something like
I
that.
mean, I mean, obviously, we saw in that Liverpool Man United game, you saw De Gea couldn't stop anything.
Well,
So,
yeah, that's true. But I mean, back to the unit. I mean, there's nothing we could do. It's been frustrating. Miami is not Columbus Crew, right?
yeah, definitely
You,
not.
you
Especially with adding Martinez,
right.
they're
You saw
definitely
how
not
we
Columbus.
started. You saw how we started the year. We started a little bit sluggish. We came back in the second half. We got a little bit better in the first game there. Then we started the same way against Miami.
Yeah,
And
and
against Miami, you just really can't do that because they're not gonna give in. And
yeah,
I put out an article, was it Tuesday, that kind of uh, like I kind of just said like what I thought. What happened is that Miami was smart enough to attack so much, to play up so much, that it forced the middle to kind of play back a little bit. When you force the Union, when you force the Union to play back, means that Gasdog has to come back. It means that Martinez is playing basically with the back line, and there is no freedom to create up top. So
yeah,
you leave Carranza or stranded, right? Because they're not getting the ball, and then you have your middle trying to catch up to a team that's, if we're being completely honest, is faster than us.
yeah.
So you can't do it. Miami, basically what they did is they just gave the blueprint of how to beat the Philadelphia Union.
They really
and,
did.
and
And
unfortunately, we there was nothing that we could do. There's nothing that Curtin could have done
yeah,
in that moment. Now,
yeah,
will we come back and maybe play a little bit better? Maybe switch a couple things. Yeah, I believe that we can,
without a doubt.
but it was tough to watch. To be honest, there was nothing. We didn't create anything. Like, it was just a tough watch.
It really was tough, and it's kind of tough for the rest of the league to think. Sure, you can outrun us sometimes, like what's going on, buddy, and you can outrun us, but it's gonna take nothing short of spectacular to be able to beat us offensively. Is basically what that game told me.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
because the
essentially.
only the only 2 goals they scored were absolute beauties, and they're clearly it's from what it's looking like, at least in the early go so far. We're only 2 matches in. It's gonna take a, some very well placed shots to be able to beat Andre Blake.
I mean that's been the case for a number of years now. He doesn't let go just random strikes, and our
Yeah,
back line is playing really well also. However, we can't ask them, like, we can't ask Wagner to create, be the assist machine that he can be if he's playing all the way back. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? We
Yeah,
just we don't have the speed as a team to keep up with that.
exactly.
Hey, what's
And
going on, Dave?
Dave, what's up, buddy? Um, and like even going into the the Champions League, you would think you would probably want to try and secure points on the table before you go into tournament play, and just leaving that on the table definitely was not great because of the fact that you had the quick turnaround down to El Salvador for that match, and then you had the
Hmm.
quick turnaround coming back to play this Saturday, and we'll get into both of those in a little bit. But it's just tough to be like I said last week, to be in the early go, leaving points on the table is not what you want to do.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. And you know what I mean? What are we gonna do going forward? We just have to see what they did, and try our best to just not make those mistakes anymore. Pizarro, I think I said it last week. He did what he wanted
Yeah,
in his position,
yeah,
and
he really did.
he opened up the field for them.
Yeah,
Martinez was a pest most of the time, even though that he didn't really score. But um, you can, I mean, you can see that you had to pay attention to him. Now again, our back line is not a problem. That's not a problem at all.
yeah,
But
it's really
if
not.
we're asking our mid to play on the defensive side, we're not going to win.
Yeah, we'll definitely get beat, and that's the one adjustment that we're definitely going to need to make going down the line is being able to get more staunch defensively in the midfield and being able to
Hmm.
make those key tackles to be able to prevent those big opportunities like you saw against Miami.
That's correct. Hmm.
So I mean, it's just sort of had to just take it. Like Jim Curtin said, it was a very humbling loss for the team.
Yeah.
That match was, and you know, come I feel like on the positive side, coming into league play, it's kind of a bit of a reset. You would think, get a bit of a fresh approach to different play, and the main thing that you always want to try and keep pressing to the guys is just every match is a new opportunity to win. You just got to full 90 every time,
Well, yeah,
and
we got to brush it off. We got to brush it
yeah,
off. Miami's a tough team. Again, it was. I was just talking to Pat about this because he was like, "You told me the goalie he had a clean sheet." No, he didn't. We just didn't have a shot on goal, man. Like
yeah,
it,
we didn't
it-
have
it's just
yeah we
it's
didn't have a
just what
single shot
happened.
to
We
actually.
didn't we didn't have a shot um to like get back. We just didn't.
Yeah, yeah, it was just not a lot of great play offensively, and
They even neutralized Torres coming in from
yeah,
on the bench, and I thought that was going to give us a little jolt, but it just I don't know what it was. We just there was nothing that we could create. It was a very very frustrating game. Um, it sucks because I'm watching it with my dad, and this is the first Union game my dad has seen. He's from Peru. He just got up here, right?
right.
And he's never seen the Union. I'm telling him like, oh,
Oof.
we're gonna become fans. You gotta watch the steam, and he's watching, and he's like,
Oh no.
this is it. I was like, this
This is not what we do, Dad, and I am sorry.
this is not a game. So he's watched two games that one in Alianza. But I think the Miami game was just way more frustrating, just because
Yeah, without a doubt.
we need well, one is Miami, two, you already know we went in there knowing the style of play that they play. We knew they were going to be aggressive. We knew they're fast. It was just like literally we just sat back and there was nothing we could do.
Yeah, it was just a really like Jim Curtin said, very humbling loss to have to take there. And like I had said, tough to leave those points on the table, but going into Champions League play, maybe a bit of a reset, and we'll just transition right into it. Philly Union went down to El Salvador to play Alianza to begin their, I guess it's round of 16, right?
Hmm.
CONCACAF Champions
Yeah.
League play, and I mean, you got what all three of the new acquisitions got their first start for the
Yeah,
Union.
and I gotta say, I did like the starting lineup. I loved they gave Lessons some rest. Low, I like him. He's very aggressive from playing from the back. I like the way he plays. He may be a little too aggressive right now. He's not. He
Just a
doesn't.
little
He's
bit to
not
start,
using
I
his
think.
noggin
Yeah,
just way too much. But I mean, he's a backup, so I'm not worried about that. I do love how aggressive he is. You started Sully up top. I wish I would have seen a lot more McGlynn to Sully like they did
yeah,
in the U.S. Playing for the U.S. We just didn't get a chance to do that, and I don't want to blame. We didn't play well. I mean, just that's just the way
definitely
we just
didn't.
didn't play with. I don't want to blame the field, but man, that didn't
I
help at
mean,
all.
both coaches did say that the field was not great.
Oh, it was
From
awful. You could
from what
tell.
I've heard, from what I've essentially read through Twitter, is that the field condition was not good at all. I mean, if I'm being fair, I think the best touch that we saw for most of the night was the dog that ran on the field
You
in what,
mean
the
what
68th
does he
minute.
call him?
Alejandro
Alejandro
Barkdoya,
Bardoya? Yeah.
the new sensation in Philly. If that dog didn't have a ticket for the flight back, they
Oh,
lost their mind.
he went viral.
Oh
That
yeah,
went
dude,
viral.
without a doubt.
It ended up
So
being, but you know what? It wouldn't have been a match in El Salvador or anywhere in Central South America if a dog didn't come on the field,
yeah,
man. It's just the way it is. And the best part is that everybody knows who that dog is. It's a neighborhood dog that
hmm
likes to break into the stadium from time to time. It's
yeah,
hilarious.
it's it's so great, and I think the favorite thing that I knew that I watched from it was when he got to the ball, just how that crowd exploded.
That was funny. It's because
So,
it's
it was
'cause they
so
know
good.
him. They know that dog.
Yeah,
They've seen that dog before.
yeah,
But
and I mean, and getting back to the match proper, you couldn't have. I mean, you definitely could have played a ton worse,
listen,
but
I know
to be able to escape with a draw coming back home,
I'll take it. I'll take it.
I'll take
I
it.
will
I
take
mean,
it because we're gonna we play differently at Subaru Park. We play more our game. I don't know why, but we do. We just play better when we play with the fans. It's a better field. Um,
yeah, way better field
that being
condition is going to
said,
make it way better for both sides.
I'm a little worried of how sluggish they look coming into like starting the game. I am a little worried
Definitely
about that.
agree with that. Yeah. Pat checking in here saying, I keep saying it. The Union are a prime target, the measuring stick. All teams are coming for the Union, and the pressure of repeating doesn't help. I mean,
Well, I mean, we won the East last year. Of course, they're going to come for the Union because we get them beating their
yeah,
ass all year last year. Of course, they have kind of like a sour taste in their mouth. But that should be your mentality playing any team you play. They shouldn't be like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like you're just playing a scrub and that's it. That should be your
yeah,
mentality. Like even if you're a union player, that should be your mentality playing every game. Like we gotta beat them down.
yeah, exactly. Like you should know being on this team that you are you literally are like the measuring stick in the conference. Just because not only because of where you finished last year, but because of how you've been playing consistently for the past few seasons. And I actually I was listening to Hercules Gomez, which that was the guy I was thinking of from last week. By the way, was
Hmm.
Hercules Gomez, um, and was doing a he started up doing a new pod with Men in Blazers called Vamos, and definitely a good listen. I suggest you check it out when you get a chance. He, I don't. This is the thing that bothers me with soccer media. I love Hercules Gomez, but it seems like every single person in not only just the soccer media for like national, like across the country, but like just for like Philly teams in general, every person that has to pick them as a team to beat does it begrudgingly, and I don't understand why.
I do.
Like, why
I
can't we
do.
just be a good team and people appreciate that we're a good team?
Because we're not. Because in their eyes, we're not. And because
I
it's
don't get it.
because we don't have a unknown name. Like they sing LAFC praises, right? They sing Galaxy praises because they've seen people come into those teams and do well. They know who Inter Miami is because Higuain has played there. Beckham owns them. Like they
I
know
mean,
who these people are and they know their names. You look at Philadelphia,
we've had CJ Sapong, we've had Oguchi Onyewu,
yeah, but they're not
we've had
known
we had bro,
outside
we
of
had
field.
Freddie Adu on this team.
Wait,
Like
come on,
people like
don't come
they're
on.
known they're known
Oh,
names.
stop it. They're not
They're
known.
known names.
They're not known outside of the U.S. They're not. The only
Oguchi
the,
Onyewu was he was a U.S. national.
the only reason Freddie Adu got any play, and I'm telling you right now, Freddie Adu was not known outside of the U.S. It was because he was young and he was really good, and then it didn't pan out. But nobody knew who the hell he
Yeah,
was,
that is very true.
and that's our issue right now. That Philadelphia, and I've said this before, the Philadelphia Union, we do not have that guy. We don't. We just play well as a team, and it translates into the field. Now,
But
when we're bringing
is
up
but
when we're
that
putting out
I
like
feel like
crap
that's
like this,
yeah.
we're not going to do anything.
But I feel like I feel like that's kind of where I'm trying to allude to is the true measuring stick for soccer in the states that can determine if your team is good or great, like that separation of the two tiers. Is that just having a good like a well known name?
Yes,
That makes that is ridiculous to me. I'm
it's,
sorry. It's
I,
just I don't understand
I
it.
understand what you're saying, but the MLS is not in a league with all
Very
the other
true.
ones.
That is true.
So in order
It
for them to get
comparatively,
there,
yeah.
they need to attract attention. How do you attract attention? You bring well-known names so they can show you it, right? And
Very
that's the
true.
problem with with Philadelphia Union. The reason why all these analysts and all these players they don't know the Philadelphia Union is because they don't know the players. You really
Very
think
true.
that they're sitting there watching Philadelphia in every game they play? No, they just see results. Why are they winning if they don't have anybody? That's what they're asking themselves. How are they doing this without this one name? How are they doing this without a superstar? How are they doing this without international player that that brings attention to them? How are they doing this? They don't know.
And I
Do you
feel like
you think they know who uh, Jacob Glesnes is?
true. It's true. Like
No,
everything you're saying is 100% true. I just don't like it.
I don't like it either
You know what
because,
I mean?
in fact, like the names that I'm telling you, like they are good. Glesson is an excellent defender. Elliot is
Yeah.
an excellent defender.
They're both
Wagner,
ex
same thing.
defender. Yeah, Elliott and Glesnes are both ex defenders of the year.
Yeah, and
Two
you
time goalkeeper of the year, 2-time coach of the year.
and I wish we got the recognition that we deserve. I wish that analysts would see us and take us into consideration. But at the same time, I mean, like that's like the Philly draw. That's like the
Yeah.
Philadelphia. No matter what team, we always get hate on. The
Yeah.
Eagles, bro, the Eagles went to the Super Bowl and they were still hating on the Eagles. Like it's
Dude,
like
it's been over a month now and people are still hating on us.
yeah, and, and,
So I
and
mean,
there's nothing we can do. Maybe that's just the Philly draw, and I'll take it. Like you know what,
yeah.
capitalize, do your thing. But
Yeah, I mean, I
if
don't know.
you ask me like why, that's why. It's because we need a name to put to the team, and we don't have it.
Yeah, it's like the same thing, like the same. I guess you could technically say it's almost the same argument that we would have for why Joel Embiid should be MVP over Nikola Jokic. Like it's that same concept. Like the body of work is there.
Hmm.
You're just giving it to this other guy because you feel like it. Like, and I don't know. I guess it's just me.
Well, the problem is that we can't sit here as fans, as a team, as players, and expect to get this recognition. It's not going to happen. Two,
Oh no, yeah. Like I'm not expecting
if you're
this.
expecting the big name to come in Philadelphia, stop because it's not coming.
Yeah, and like I'm not expecting the media to like salivate over the second that we set boot to pitch, but like
No, but the U.S.
just
media should though.
just don't say that you hate to pick us to be the team to beat
Right,
because the body of work is there. Like we've proven
right.
consistently for a few years now that we are a very good, if not great team, and like what about us aside from the stories that you hear from other people that sometimes could be exaggerated because that's how people are, It's, most people's complaints are the fan base. Who cares? They're not signing the paychecks for the people that play the goddamn game, dude.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't make any sense. Like when you really think about it, it doesn't make any sense
It really
because
doesn't.
the U.S. market, the U.S., the MLS, like they should know what the union have done for the past what 2-3 years now, right?
Yeah,
They've seen it, they follow it, they cover it. Yet we're
they
still
can't
getting
believe.
like, wow, Philadelphia's doing this. No shit, it's been happening for 3 years.
Yeah, it's
It's
like
not a fluke anymore.
oh, you saw us drop 16 goals in what 2 games?
Yeah, like and maybe a couple teams were playing the unions. They were slightly playing them when last year. Maybe they didn't give him enough credit. Maybe they didn't come out and expect the union to be that good, and maybe that's why they didn't play us well. I don't know. I mean, there's a bunch of different reasons. I think you're absolutely right. We don't get the credit that we deserve. But I'm not even talking about outside of the U.S. because that's just. I mean, right now it's just not going to happen. In the
Yeah,
U.S., why would broadcasters in the US, why would journalists in the US be so surprised or not give us the benefit of the doubt when they've seen this for 3 years now? There's only one person that gets recognized and that gets love, and that's Andre Blake. That's it.
and it's deservedly so though when you
Oh,
when you
absolutely.
really when you really think about it. But I mean, along with him, it's for me, it's the fact that like yes, give Blake recognition. He's incredible. He deserves every last bit of it. There's 10 other men that, when paired with Andre Blake, are virtually unstoppable in a way, in a
Mm,
sense, on
when
paper.
we're playing well, yeah, we
Yeah,
haven't been
when
playing
when
well.
whenever when everything's firing, this team is very, dare I say, the best in the league. Because the only we pulled 9 straight draws last season and didn't win Supporter Shield because of goal differential.
Yeah,
And that goal
that's
differential was what,
remarkable.
3?
That's remarkable when you think about it.
It's insane when you think about it. Because like all the records that we put up, and you would think sure shot,
It-
and then you throw in that stretch of 9 draws, like I was saying going into the playoffs. Like if you just get rid of, if you turn 3 of those draws into wins, it's a convincing Supporter Shield
Mhm.
win.
And then a, and then
Convincing.
a trip to the MLS finals.
And
But
the
I,
finals were here, and it would be a whole different story.
right. But I still don't think. And maybe if we win the cup, maybe they'll give us some love.
Maybe
But
they'll ease up on us, but
I still don't think that would be in the map as much as we should be in the
yeah,
U.S. market.
yeah. And I mean, I guess it's one of those things. Just let the work keep consistently proving that there's no doubt, and eventually people will stop talking about us the way they do.
Right.
And
I think I saw Pat ask if we blame Jim Curtin for Saturday's loss. I blame everybody. It was
yeah,
a
that
whole
that was
team.
that
It
was a
was
full
just
team
awful.
loss. Yeah,
We
that was just
couldn't
a
we
full team
couldn't
loss.
one we couldn't control any kind of ball. We were turning the ball over left and right. We couldn't create anything, which that's up to Curtin. Um, but we just didn't play well. But we didn't.
No, and even carrying through to the Champions League match against Alianza, it just
We came
still
out the same.
carried,
And
came
if it
out the
was any
same.
other team other than Alianza, that would have been a loss.
Yeah, and Diego checking in here. Here we go. To be fair, everyone coming into the year had LAFC Philly 1-2 in power rankings, and they gave us
That's
respect
fine.
coming into this
That's
year.
because
Yeah,
there's no other there's
the,
listen,
I feel I
I
feel
get
like the
what you're
power
saying.
ranking. Yeah, like power rankings are definitely more
Yeah.
unobjective
I get what
in
he's
the way
saying.
they're done.
That's because if they didn't give us one or two in the power rankings, like what the hell are they doing? But
Yeah,
that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about actual people talking on live TV or on an article or whatever the case may be, not
in the
giving
in the
Philadelphia enough
national
credit.
media
Yeah, not,
specifically.
not giving Philadelphia national credit. It's like when they speak about the Union, they see them at one or two in the power rankings, and they're like, "Oh, like they're surprised." Why? You don't see that with any other team. Why are you surprised that we're up there? We've been playing well for so long.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
and
mean, some people realize how good the squad is. I don't think they get recognized enough. I don't think that they get that recognition that they should have. We've been playing well for, like I said, 3 years now, well above average.
yeah,
So the fact that we're still getting surprised that Philadelphia is in the running for anything, it's disrespectful.
yeah,
I don't
it,
care what the power rankings say. Of course, we're up there. We were winning left and right. We got to the MLS Cup. I get it, but
yeah,
it's disrespectful.
and this Gus and I both agree with because
No, yeah, absolutely.
yeah, just looking for a name when it comes to MLS, which is very true because I mean even you know the number two, one of the other candidates for MVP aside from Andre Blake and eventual winner Hani Mukhtar was Sebastian Driussi from Austin FC. No one knows who Driussi is.
Well,
That's another team that not many people
well, no,
know who
no,
Sebastian Driussi is. Like sort of like how outside of Hungary, not many people know who Daniel Gostag is.
it's true.
So like there are teams that are very good in this league that don't have those names that also aren't getting recognized. And I feel like we're hitting that turning point of the evolution of like maybe like the international designated player isn't shouldn't be the benchmark of a great team anymore because there are teams that get like look at LAFC, they have Chicharito. I mean not LAFC, LA
LA
Galaxy.
Galaxy. Yeah.
And they barely clawed into the playoffs last year and got knocked out by LAFC.
But how much coverage does Chicharito get? He's a name.
He is. But I mean, like sure the potential the well not the potential but like the history of LA Galaxy does speak for itself. Obviously, it's like one of the best, honestly, probably the best sports market in the country, and it's California. Like it's an
Yeah,
appealing place.
and
So like I
that's the
totally get
reason.
it.
And I
Like
think I've said this. I think I've said this on the show before.
yeah, you definitely have.
When you have players coming from overseas, like really good players, right? That are coming from overseas. When you live elsewhere, and I'm telling you from experience because I'm from Peru myself. I have a family over there.
Right.
When you hear of the United States, you hear California, you hear New York, you hear Florida. That's it.
You know?
So when you come from somewhere else, where are the three places you're gonna go to first to see if they can sign you? California, Florida, New York.
You know?
They usually have the money to. It's it's what they've seen outside of the US. This is where the Big Apple or Miami or LA, like they see the glamour, they see the life, like it's very
Yeah.
attractive. When you're coming from somewhere else that's, I mean, excuse my language, but super shitty, because most places are, right? That's, of course, that's what you want.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think anybody overseas is going, Philadelphia looks good. No. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I live just next to Philadelphia, and I don't think that most times.
Like, unless you're like super into cheesesteaks, like that's the only thing that I can think. I'm not
Yeah.
knocking Philly. I love Philadelphia. I love it, but no way.
Yeah. Steve
Look at, we
going
have
back to
Diego.
the
My favorite player right now in the world is Darwin Nunes. So I follow Liverpool, but before he came on, it was Luis Suarez at Barca. Here in America, we follow the name, not the team. That's absolutely correct.
yeah.
Nunes came, and Nunes was actually. I mean, I don't particularly love what he's doing in Liverpool right now, even though he does have more goals than Haaland in 2023. Uh, let me just
Probably
say
even
that.
more goals than Everton.
um, but Nunes wasn't. I mean, he wasn't a name until he came over here. He came to or not over here. He came to Liverpool. He's absolutely
Yeah.
right. In the U.S., you follow names like people know Messi. They have no idea who the hell he plays for. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? People know Ronaldo. They have no idea who the hell he plays for, especially now because he's playing in Saudi Arabia. You don't know who Al Nazir is. You think anybody that knows Ronaldo is gonna know who Al Nazir is? No,
No.
nobody.
No.
They didn't even know who Juventus was. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
There were so many people that had no idea that Juventus was like one of the historical like founding pillars of Serie A.
but this is but we know that this is happening. But this is good that we're at least talking about it because then it's gonna turn to okay. Let's watch the game. Let's not watch the name in the U.S. right now. Diego's right. We watch the name. We don't watch the game.
Yep.
I'm hoping that we talk about it enough to where we can watch the game and enjoy
The
the
team, the whole
name.
team.
No,
Yeah.
enjoying the name because that's what people do.
Yeah.
Like people in Barcelona, do you think they're Lionel Messi fans or do you think they're Barcelona fans?
Good point.
Right?
Very good point.
So that's where I want to get to. Now it's may take I may be long gone before that happens, but the stride that soccer has taken in the US in the last I want to say 5 years
Yeah.
has been remarkable.
Really has.
And
Even
I'm
even
hoping I'm hoping
even
we keep going.
yeah, even you look back to just when, Philadelphia Union first joined the MLS. Like there's just the overall makeup of the league was totally different
It just wasn't being
comparatively
looked
to
at.
where it is now.
It wasn't being looked at.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, Chivas USA was part of the die out of MLS 1.0,
Yeah.
and you saw, you know, actually coming into this season, you saw one of, I think the last Chivas USA player that was still in MLS in Sasha Klestian retiring. So I mean, like
Yeah.
part of the like
Yeah,
I
there's
feel like
nobody else from
that's
that team, is there?
no. I think Sebastian Yetjet, who was part of the league at the time of Chivas USA, is playing abroad, if I remember correctly.
Hmm.
So in terms of like Chivas USA players in MLS, there are no more now,
Yeah, I guess you're
which
right.
is a real shame when you think about it, because like that was essentially the way for MLS to sort of like get itself a bit more viewership, was
I
like to
I
have a
I
team with
never
that
agreed with
branding.
that though. I never agreed
No,
with
I
that.
definitely didn't either.
I don't think it was a good move. Chivas is an established team in Mexico, right?
Yeah,
So to just add USA at the end of it,
it
I
made no
didn't
sense.
I didn't think that was the play. The first I think I told you the first time I heard it, I was like, "What the did Chivas move? Like what the hell is
Yeah,
this?"
yep. I
And
remember you
then they're like,
saying
"No,
that.
it's the USA version." I'm like, "What? What?" And,
It's
and
all it.
I don't really follow Mexican soccer like that, but this is a perfect example. I've watched soccer my whole life, right? I don't
Yeah,
follow Mexican league soccer. I don't, but I know who Chivas are. I know who
yeah,
Cruz Azul is,
yeah.
right? I know
Yep.
America,
Yeah, Club America.
right? Like I know the teams
Yeah,
because I like the game.
exactly. Sort of like how if it wasn't for Chicharito playing there, not many people would know Bayer Leverkusen in Germany to go along with Dortmund and like it's just and Bayern Munich. It's just it's funny how like sometimes a name will make a team even after that player is long gone, like still be able to get recognition,
And
which it's
even
fun. Like don't get me wrong, like spread the game in any way you can. You know
right,
what I mean? Like
yeah.
spread
And
the
listen, I'm
recognition of
all
the
I'm all
game.
for it.
Rise up
Any
teams like
exposure, I'm
yeah,
all for.
and like even I feel like even further proof that it's about the names. Like there are some people who like a lot. I would say pretty much everyone here had no idea who Wrexham was. No one knew Wrexham. Like now everyone does. And like there were I, again was listening to Men in Blazers. Somebody was uh called in and said they were planning a trip for their parents out to Wrexham to see a match.
It makes sense. It makes sense. But I'm hoping that we go away from just get away from the name aspect of it. The problem is, and maybe Diego can agree with me. The problem is that in order for us to get there, we're gonna need names.
Yeah,
You
I
know what
mean
I'm saying? Like,
that's exactly what Diego's saying right here.
yeah. Like, what do you say? Can you pull it back up? Let me read.
He
He
said, "I
said, I
think the
think
way for the MLS to grow is from within. Some of these homegrown kids have to become young stars like Aronson. His $8 million MLS record sale to Red Bull Leipzig was a big deal. They need a lot more of that to gain notoriety worldwide.
a hundred
We
percent. Like the reason
The
why
Union have
Dortmund,
done the Union have done three of them.
yeah, well, and the reason why
We
Dortmund
did Aronson, we did
is well known around
McKenzie,
here,
and we did Paxton as well.
the reason why Dortmund is known around here is because why? Pulisic went there. Rain
Yep,
is playing there currently.
yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, absolutely, you're absolutely right. But
Leeds
but
now
that's just it.
because of McKenny, Adams, and Aronson.
As much as we don't want to just focus on the name, we're going to need the name to
Yeah,
get to the rest of the game. Unfortunately, that's the way to do it.
yeah. I mean, that's how it was for me originally when I first started, really following the sport. I was a huge fan of Wayne Rooney, obviously, because Manchester United, he was the dude. I actually did follow him when he moved to back to the club that he supported growing up as a kid at the tail end of his career, and then in even now, like I still keep tabs on the bald Wayne Rooney. I kid.
Well, I mean,
He has hair now. He has
if you
hair now,
like the
and he
if you
coaches
like the
DC
player,
United.
if you like the player, is fine. I mean, I get it. Like, this is going to be an extreme, of course. It's going to be a name that everybody knows, but Cristiano. I've been a Real Madrid fan since I was 6. Right
Yeah,
before Ronaldo came to Real Madrid, I was still a Real Madrid fan. When Ronaldo left Real Madrid, I was still a Real Madrid fan. I didn't become a Juventus fan. You know what I'm
yeah, no,
saying?
yeah,
We gotta get to that point. Right now, they look at the names and they follow the names from one place to the other.
yeah.
And we
I mean
we
that.
we, we got to stop that.
Yeah, and I mean, it's totally understandable from the standpoint of the country as a whole in terms of the sport of soccer is like it was growing up as a kid following a sport. You latched onto your favorite players and followed them wherever they went. Prime
Mhm.
example for me growing up as a kid, I was a huge baseball fan. I loved Vladimir Guerrero. So I followed him from when he was with the Montreal Expos, to
But there's a
the
difference.
LA Angels over to Baltimore. Like,
There's a difference between following and keeping tabs and rooting for the team, though.
yeah, there's definitely different
There's a
levels to
huge
it,
difference
but
between it. Like, I love Brian Dawkins. I love Brian Dawkins.
yeah,
Love him. Right? When he left, I didn't become a Denver fan. I miss him. I follow and see what he's doing, but you can't do that. We're not
yeah,
asking you to do that. You can keep tabs, but it's the we got to get away from, okay, now I'm cheering for this team, I'm cheering for this team. No, like, look at the game. Just like
yeah,
football, basketball, whatever the case, pick a team, stick with it.
yeah. Diego
So
saying he
I
follows the
think Diego's,
Uruguayan players because
yeah.
he has no attachment to the teams over there the way we do to our home teams here. And yeah, I mean,
Well,
you
yeah.
know,
If you're looking out of a country, that's absolutely fine. I mean, I do follow the Peruvian league. Universitario de Deportes is my team down there. Like, that's me, right? So I follow them blindly. I mean, that doesn't mean that I don't keep tabs of Peruvian players around the world. Of course I do.
yeah, of
Um,
course,
but I get what he's saying. If he doesn't have an affiliation, I mean, there's no reason why he wouldn't root
yeah,
for the
exactly,
player, right? If
yeah,
especially if you don't watch anybody in the league. Like, I I like Ronaldo. I've always liked the same. I don't I don't follow Al Nasir, but I'll root for them if I need to, right? Just because
yeah.
he's there, but I have no affiliation to him.
If it boils down to it, and it's like a big time match, which I don't think there are many of those that
Mm,
he's playing.
no,
So I mean,
no, he's not doing so well over there.
yeah, no, I mean it's him and it's basically it.
There's a Peruvian player that plays in this league, Andre Carrillo. He's actually pretty damn good.
Oh,
He's not as good to, like, go and like build a crazy career. But he's definitely one of our better players.
oh yeah. I mean, hey, I mean take a look at like a prime example that Diego brought up earlier. Brendan Aronson started with Leipzig,
Right.
went over to was part of a Bundesliga championship Red Bull Leipzig, and then transferred over to Leeds and is partnered with Weston McKennie and Tyler Adams now fighting to stay above relegation or possibly just die in the relegation zone now.
The United States of Leeds. Yes, I've
Yeah,
seen them play,
yeah, Leeds United States, dude.
and I'm happy for like when I watch Leeds, I'm happy for them. Um, I mean, I'm a Chelsea fan. I can't root for Leeds. I just
No,
can't do it.
me neither.
And as much as I want these kids to do well, I can't root for Leeds. I just can't.
Would I like to see them relegated? No,
No, no, I wouldn't like to see them
Mainly
relegated.
because of they're our boys.
Yeah,
I
I
don't want to see our
wouldn't.
boys drop out of the Premiership, but at the
No,
same
no,
time,
we need them to play at a higher level. We need them to
yeah,
play better
exactly.
teams. So no, I don't want them to be relegated.
That
Um,
was exactly the point that I was going to
but
be
I can't.
making.
I can't
No,
like cheer for them. I can't.
you and I got too much fighting to do at the top of the table.
Well, I don't. We're not even at the top of the table right now. Like,
Oh well, imagine that.
listen, don't even. We listen. We should. I could have a whole show of how much I hate Graham Potter right now.
Oh, dude, do you want to do it sometime?
I will. Yeah, we have a whole hour of how much I freaking hate Graham Potter right now. But anyway,
him and Todd Bowley.
well, no, he got deep pockets. I like that guy.
Look, the pockets are cool. The man whose hands are in them,
Yes, I
questionable.
guess. But let's get back to the Philadelphia Union. We got a little off track, but everything kind of comes back to the Union deserve the recognition that they're not getting from the media. That's absolutely right.
Yeah.
But let's get to this Saturday's match
Yeah,
against
that
Chicago.
was actually asking what can we expect from Chicago this weekend and who we should keep our eyes on.
Yeah, but
Um,
nobody listens to Pat, so let's just get going.
so you don't have the same view on StreamYard that I do. I just saw Pat look straight at his camera because he's backstage on StreamYard and he was just shaking his head. This is like, yeah. But I actually there were some because I did grab some quotes from Jim Curtin coming into this match. He talked about the past week of football for the Philadelphia Union. He did say it's been good to get back here into Philly after of the long and lengthy road trip. Talking about going from Miami to El Salvador and now being able to come back home. He also noted, like I had said earlier in the show here, he said that the loss to Miami was humbling, and he said that the team is ready to right the ship against Chicago on Saturday. He said that while the Union go into each game looking to win, he said, "quote He's still really proud of the group for the 0-0 down in El Salvador. Noted that the field was even worse than it looked on TV." Um, Mind you,
Oh, for sure.
all of this I'm getting from the Brotherly Game on Twitter at Brotherly Game. Um, very awesome soccer pod. Another heavy recommendation from your boy here. Um, he continued on to say, "quote We're fresh. We're going to go fully after Chicago, and we have a must-win game on Tuesday."
Hmm.
Um, Also said with the heavy rotation, Curtin said that each player feels that their number could get called at any time. There's lots of competition in the group for minutes right now. He notes that reserves and starters could start getting integrated together as the season progresses, saying, "quote Some guys will perform and shock us. Some guys will have a difficult season." End quote. Uh, Continued on saying, we would be totally comfortable going to Matt for sure when asked about the depth chart behind Kai Wagner. Also noted that the three top center backs, Lau, Elliott, and Glesnes, will likely be on the field at the same time this year, possibly on multiple occasions.
There,
Um,
there's only one thing that, not that I disagree with it. No, I disagree with it. I don't like that he said that he was proud of the tie. I wasn't proud of the tie. He should
Me
have been
neither,
proud of the tie.
but when he continued after that to talk about how the condition of the field was
I
even
don't
worse
care
than
about
it
the
looked like
condition of
on
the field.
TV, I feel
They,
like having to combat that along with trying to play against the team that I mean, let's be
No,
fair.
Alianza played on the same field, Austin.
Yeah,
And
I,
that's,
I was literally about to say, they
you
both played on the
cannot,
same field, so it's kind of hard to
you can't be,
do a credit where credit is due kind
you
of
can't be
thing.
proud. You can't be proud. You can say like we escaped with the 1 point or
Yeah,
with the tie, but you can't.
it does.
I don't like proud.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think
it
that he
also
should have been
does
proud.
it also does give Alianza a chance to be able to get ahead quickly in the aggregate coming here on the leg.
I just that's the only part. Everything else was right on point, and I think we do come out here and put a stamp on Chicago and kind of get us back on track a little bit. But I don't like I mean I know why he said why he said it. I get why.
Yeah,
I get the why behind it. I just don't agree with it because I don't think
yeah,
he should have been proud. I think he should have held himself and the players accountable really for such a crappy performance.
yeah, and we were speaking about rotation a little bit ago. He was asked about sorry, he was asked about how Anton Sorensen has been progressing in terms of just being a part of the team and if there's a possibility for him getting some minutes anytime soon. Um, Curtin did say that Anton needs games and he's going to be playing a ton of them with Union too. Saying that he continued to give him praise, saying that he has a high ceiling, but it sounds like he's still a few steps away from seeing minutes with the senior squad.
Hmm.
He did. Curtin did give a shout out to former Union forward Kasper Shabilko, who is part of Chicago Fire now, but notes that
Hmm.
he's wearing the other team's kit, and the Union will look to deny him on Saturday. So I feel like that's going to be in my opinion, Kasper Shabilko is always going to be a player to watch for Chicago right now. We know what he's capable of. He's really good at getting up and getting ahead on a ball up close to the net.
In the
Um,
air.
yeah, up in the air. He's a very very tall body, so being able to mark him as often as you possibly can and make sure someone's always with him is going to be one of the big things.
And we gotta watch Shakiri.
Yep,
That's gonna be the guy. He man, that little man is quick.
guys that
Um,
can produce on the outside have been a bit of a problem for us this year, where it was not much of an issue
yeah,
last year at all.
yeah, and it's been a problem because they're creating a little bit of space, and if you and as you can see, if you know hit it correctly, there's only so much the goalie can do. So that's the only thing that's worrying me is how Shabilko, as much as he did for us here, I'm not really worried about Casper. I'm more worried about the middle in Shakiri with Gutierrez. I mean, he didn't have a crazy game against New York City. That was a well fought match between both of them. Really,
Yep,
part of the reason why they ended in a draw in the first place. Um,
yep.
but you can tell there was their back line to round looked really good. So we're gonna have to find ways to kind of get around them. However, if if we do the same thing we did with Miami, which is play back, we're not gonna get those opportunities we need.
Yeah, and we got Diego chime in here saying, I was proud with the tie because of the fact that we practically put out our B team and came out with it. As soon as I seen the lineup, my first thought was like, okay, Curtin playing for the tie. Let's make sure we go back home Wednesday with a tie, and that's what we did.
I don't agree with that. I would never play for a tie. Don't ever play for a tie.
Yeah, no, it's almost as bad as the old Doc Rivers classic scheduled
Yeah,
loss.
no. And again, I don't care how bad the field was, and I understand it was the B squad, but if you know, do you know Alianza?
No.
Yeah, they suck. I don't care if it was I don't care if it was a B team. They suck. Like we should have won this game. We just couldn't do anything.
It,
No, I'm not proud of
I
it.
know.
And again, I understand why he said it. I get it. Like, yay, we're proud of the tie. It could have been
Yeah, I
worse.
mean,
Yes,
do
that's
do do
absolutely
I
correct.
do I like the fact that we didn't lose? Yes. Do I like the fact that we
Of
didn't
course, I'm not.
win?
It's not like I'm
No.
angry about the tie. I'm just not proud. I'm not angry
Yeah, I'm
about it. I'm
not.
just not
Yeah,
proud.
I wouldn't be going out there and saying, yeah. Like I wouldn't be.
I don't ever play for tie. I'm maybe that's just me. I don't play for tie.
No, yeah, I don't. I don't either.
If we're having
And
a crappy game and we and we come out with the tie, I will take it all
Oh yeah,
day,
because of the fact
all
that
day.
you're still able to pull a positive from the negative.
If we're going against a significantly better team and we come out with a tie, I'm proud. Alianza
Yeah,
sucks.
there it is.
There's no
You heard it
reason.
here first.
There's no reason why we should have tied. I'm sorry, and
No, dude, I
if we don't beat them at Subaru Park, I'll be at that game. By the way, if we don't beat them like 6-0, I'm gonna go ballistic.
Oh man.
I want to dupe, damn it! I want to
We-
dupe.
even Diego even Diego said it too. Alianza is
Yeah, it's
garbage.
garbage, hot garbage, bro. And our B team is not as good as their A team. I mean,
I mean
it's
the
not worse than their A team. It's just not.
yeah the main criticism that I was because I was working when they were playing, so I was sort of following the match on the Philadelphia Union Twitter. Um, a lot of the comments that I saw coming in were a lot of people not liking what they saw from Chris Donovan.
No, he was lost out there, man.
Yeah, and
And it was visibly lost. He was lost.
yeah, I'm trying to
That kid needs some playing time.
yeah, it's just he really definitely does need to get a bit more work in because he did not look good at all.
I honestly can't say it's a matter of skill because I don't think he's been able to show what he can do just yet.
Yeah,
Um,
no.
I think he needs minutes. It's just going to be up to Curtin whether he wants to give him to him. He wants to take
Yeah.
that chance.
Yeah, and Diego seems to be agreeing with you here, saying that that kid was lost, but the talent seems to be there.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't fault him. I don't fault him for that. I just don't think he's been given the opportunity he
yeah,
should have. But
even
not
like
yet. I
late,
mean, he's a young kid. I mean,
yeah, even late season last year, like you saw a lot of flashes of what he could possibly do.
absolutely.
A lot of really good runs. Um, yeah, Diego checking in again, saying that he's long in his his runs are on time, just a little sloppy in the final third. And that was, I mean,
But
if we're being fair, that was a bit of an issue for a few guys throughout all of last season was that the final third.
yeah, but that right there is experience, right?
Yeah,
Because
it's
like you said,
definitely
like there is some talent there. So we just got to see where he's able to go.
yeah, exactly. And honestly, I feel like you may with how deep we are at forward right now already and what we can do with stretch it like flexing a couple of midfield guys into forward positions, you could potentially even send Donovan back down to Union 2 and let him get some work in there
Yeah,
and
I
then
mean,
come back to the senior squad. Like, I mean, we're already doing it with Anton Sorensen. Why not?
I think Curtin's going to use him for for the Champions League. I
Yeah,
think that's going to be established. I think he's going to get those minutes. But if he's playing with the B team the whole time, it's not going to be as good as he maybe would put him in there as a sub with the A team, right? Just so he can
yeah.
get a feel for the actual game.
The actual
Um,
pace of how the A team goes comparatively.
right, right.
Yeah,
So it's gonna be like I said, it's gonna be up to Curtin whether he wants to give him the chance or not.
I
That's
would like to hope he does.
yeah, I would like to see it because I want to see what the kid has. Now, would I sacrifice minutes from Ua or Carranza right now? It all depends on what they can give me going forward, right? If
Exactly.
if Ua keeps playing the way he's playing, because if we're being completely honest, he hasn't been playing well.
No,
So if he keeps doing that, maybe we'll give Donovan a chance, kind of prove himself in the regular season as opposed to just the Champions League, right?
but I feel
Um,
like if Ua's not playing well, I feel like your initial choice to swap him out would be Torres.
See, I don't like Torres up top. I want him to play in the middle more,
I mean, you could probably like do the two
and I also like him off the
essentially
bench.
two central mid, which is kind of weird
Yeah, but I
when
also
you
like
think
him off
about
the
it.
bench.
Yeah,
I like Torres off the bench, and if he comes
yeah, that
in
spark off
at
the
that spot
bench.
off the bench with that jolt, I love it.
Yeah,
But
like I was saying in the
which, by the
preseason,
way,
I
we
feel
were
like he would be
missing.
a good. I did say before the season that he would be a decent super sub.
Yeah, and you were right, absolutely. So that first game, you could see it immediately. it's been kind of absent. I mean, not last game he started, but against Miami it was a little absent. But again, that wasn't on him. That was a team loss. There was nothing we
Yeah,
could do.
yeah, and it's one of those things. That's just how the game is. You
Hmm.
know, but if you want to get to the game, why don't you check out our friends over at Sherry's Ticket Town? Family owned and operated since 1946. No extra nonsense fees that you have to pay at the end of your transactions. All the prices that you see are the prices that you get. Go over to sherrystickets.com, and while you're there, use the promo code EOP10. Get 10% off on your boys.
And if you do happen to go to the game and all of a sudden a dog attacks you, you can, you can call my man David Archerry at 610-565-0300. Workers' compensation, motor vehicle accidents, personal injury, criminal law. Our man David Archerry, 610-565-0300.
Oh, who would you talk to about a random dog attack at a soccer stadium?
Be a pretty interesting story.
Who would you send that notice to? I don't know, but if you're dealing with the pain of a dog attack and you want to go you want to go somewhere nice, that was a terrible transition. I don't know what I was thinking. Make
You're
sure you get
fine.
out to
You're fine.
Dolan's Bar in Ridley Park, 24 East Sellers Avenue. It's the original Delco bar. There's tons of awesome stuff going on there all the time. There's Quizzo, music, awesome food, awesome drinks. There's always some past or present Philadelphia player or legend of some sort coming into the place. So make sure if you're in the Ridley Park area, get yourself out the Dolans.
And of course, if you don't want to go to the bar and you want to be there, even if, whether it's the Super Park or the Lincoln Financial Field or to see the Phillies and Citizens Bank, hit up our people of sports trips, Philly sports trips. Man, I'm telling you, they hook you up from start to finish. You want an ultimate bus trip to Yankee Stadium? Boom, right there. Get into the Bronx with all the Philly fans and let them know what's up. Kansas City draft, we even go there. You see that Philadelphia Union, Denver, May 13th in Colorado? So doesn't that sound like a great trip to go to? And if you look at the last one, they even give you a trip to London, bro.
Mm,
To London
mm.
to see to see Leeds. It's that package itself. It's crazy. They hook you up with the airflight, with the stay. They even have a couple of trips available with a couple of stadiums over there. PhillySportsTrips.com. I'm telling you, you won't regret it.
I did check out the itinerary for that trip, and it's
Oh, it's awesome,
it's
dude.
a it's a trip to tour Stamford Bridge where Chelsea plays.
That's right.
Uh,
Let's go.
you spend which I want to say local time is around about 1:30 in the morning. You would be at
Hmm.
a pub in London to watch the Philadelphia Union NYCFC match.
Hmm.
And then the day after that, you go over to Leeds to watch Leeds play Tottenham.
Yeah, man. You watch our American boys do their thing.
It's a 6-day getaway, totally worth it. Make sure you're getting in touch with our guys over at phillysportstrips.com and letting them know that we sent you.
And it's
And
always
lastly,
good to watch Tottenham lose. I'm just saying.
hey, I'll take a Tottenham L anytime during the Premier League season. You know what you won't get an L from? Checking
What's
everything
that?
out going on at Edge of Philly Sports. Every single day we got something going on covering every single sport. Eagles, Phillies, Flyers, Sixers. Us with the Union, we got our guys coming on Sunday. The all across all the time guys. We're covering literally everything here. So make sure you're getting in on Edge of Philly Sports. Make sure you're subscribing everywhere you can. YouTube, following us on Facebook, on Twitter, on Twitch. Um, Even TikTok and on eopsports.com, the Edge of Philly Sports website. Make sure you're signing up for that newsletter too. There's like Gus said, he just wrote an article. Our man Diego is writing some articles. Your boy Austin's writing some articles. Everybody from every show is putting out something about something going
And
on
I
in the world of
and,
Philly
and I
sports.
gotta tell you, we're dedicated because if we're writing articles and doing shows about the Philadelphia Flyers, that we're dedicated to this. Because man, what a dumpster fire!
Pat literally right now is getting ready to do clear the ice for the
Listen,
Flyers game.
listen. Listen,
God bless that man.
seriously, because man,
all,
what
all,
the
all,
hell?
all the guys covering the Flyers for our team, all of the guys covering the team for us here at Edge of Philly Sports. Look, dude, this hat,
Hats off.
I had to do it that way so that the hair didn't get in the way. That the hat's off to them. Like this is,
It's awesome, man.
I'm not even putting it back on. The hat is so far off.
Yeah,
Like you guys, I'm gonna take a quick minute to just get my rant out because I haven't had a moment yet.
go for it.
Flyers fans, this one's for you. I don't understand what is going on with this team.
Nobody does.
Okay, I've been following the Philadelphia Flyers for as long as I can remember, and I'm a 33-year-old man, so I've been through some bad teams. Okay, but
No, this is the worst I've ever seen.
this is a literal organizational crumble, and the only way that you can see progress going forward is to a remove Chuck Fletcher. This man destroyed the Minnesota Wild. He sunk them so that after he left they could soar.
He
He's been
doesn't
here
care.
long enough. He's been here long enough. We're aggressively retooling this team, but make no moves at the deadline. It's snake oil. It's snake oil. Like it's literally what it is. Comcast has no idea what they're doing managing this team in terms of the actual ownership group. You have to sell the franchise. You have to. Unfortunately, if it involves having to move the team at this point, unfortunately, probably take it.
We okay. I
I don't.
saw a tweet today that I couldn't agree with more. We don't have a face, man. Like
Yeah.
we're owned by a company, a large company that's not willing to put in money towards this organization.
Yeah.
Our GM doesn't give a shit about what we're doing because it's. And I'm sorry, I'm getting I'm being so blunt about it, but he just doesn't. He
He
doesn't
really
care.
doesn't.
You could tell, like the answer. Just hearing him talk, the answers that he gives just make no sense. You tell him, I don't care. I don't care what you say. I don't care the decision. You telling me you can't get a fifth for JVR? We're just going to take the hit. Well, let's just let the contract expire. We're not going to get anything. It's not like we need it, right? Like, just something as simple as that. Like you don't care. Like he's grabbed this organization and the Flyers are were a great organization and just crumbled it to pieces, man. It's hard to. I haven't even watched the game like in a
Dude,
while. Yeah,
I think I've maybe contributed 2.5 periods of watch time to Flyers hockey this year.
it's
I knew
sad.
I knew what this team was getting into when they announced that John Tortorella was going to be their head coach. I openly said it from the beginning. I was like, this man is out of touch with how hockey is meant to be played. You are trying to get a guy to catch lightning in a bottle who doesn't even understand the weather. Like
It's not
that's
even.
literally what's happening.
Yeah, but to make things worse, it's not even raining.
You're trying to catch lightning in a bottle in
Uh,
Antarctica.
but you
Like
know what? We'll let Pat and them talk. Talk to you about the
I
Flyers.
had to get some of that out.
I get it.
Flyers suck. It hurts me to say it completely.
I get
Half of me hurts to say it. Give up on hockey.
it.
Give up on Philadelphia hockey
Right now
until they sell the team.
they're not
Until
giving anything.
until something constructive is done. Stop
Right,
it and
right. They're
get
not doing
help.
anything for their fan base, and it's a shame. It really is.
They're not doing anything for the fan base, but the fan base is doing everything for them. It's
But that's what Philadelphia is. That's not going to change.
hey, you know what, Flyers fans, you know what you should do? You should tune in Saturday night, 7:30 p.m.
Yeah,
Apple TV,
just
97.5 The Fanatic.
shift
Just
that gear to the Union,
shift
man.
over.
We'll take it.
You know what a lot of hockey players do pregame? They play soccer.
Yeah, man. We'll do it. We'll be the Chester Bullies.
Yeah, what's up? As Tyler Adams would say, you don't know who I am, bro.
Oh man.
But hey, this has been a good one, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Always a pleasure.
Hey, we got regulars, we got MLS play this weekend. Right back at the CCL on Tuesday. We out. See y'all next week.